Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 9 of Touring the Londonverse. I'm your host ScottBGaming and today I'll be looking at the Down Under Wrestling Society based out of Australia, or DUWS as they're better known as. Again, pick James' avatar with the attributes right down the middle so we can get right into this game, as I've already simmed up to the DUWS first show, which takes place in Wednesday of week 1. So let's have a little dive in and see what we can find. Now I believe DUWS is actually a promotion that I've covered before. I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure I did back on Twitch TV when I had my own channel. I think about 2 years ago I streamed a video for them. However, we're going to have a look at it with a fresh pair of eyes for YouTube, and you guys out there who may not have seen the original videos can now have a look at this. So we'll move to the main hub of the promotion. We will ignore the little messages there. And we see that DUWS is regional size, 20th out of the 33 promotions that are in the database to start with. $1 million in the bank, Prestige D, Momentum D+. I like the logo for the DUWS because although the athletes that compete for the company they are relatively decent in-ring talent, the promotion itself isn't, above, poking fun. You can see with the logo you kind of got the kangaroo that looks jacked up on steroids with Sydney, Pearl Harbor, got the Australian flag. It's just got a bit of a character to it, so it's not necessarily a goofy promotion or anything. But I do like the logo. I think it does stay in keeping with the promotion itself. They are the largest promotion in Australia at this point in time anyway. There is another Australian promotion in the game, Sydney Pro Wrestling. We'll come to that in another episode. As you can see from the screen here, the next show is DUWS Tidal Wave 2015, which is being held tonight. But before we get to the show itself, let's take a quick look at the roster. Here we go, lovely jubbly. And we start off with Ajax, and he's one half of the tag team in the promotion. Again, the promotion has a pretty good tag team division. I think all the companies that we've covered so far have relatively decent tag team divisions. Some better than others, certainly, but, again, tag team wrestling is a priority in the database itself. It's not going to be neglected. Ajax, he's 30 years of age, brawler, lightweight, a lot more sane than his tag team partner Rembrandt, who we'll be seeing shortly. In-ring wise, he's not particularly fantastic. I think he's well suited to being in a tag team because I don't think he'd do particularly well by himself. And even in his bio it states that he's kind of set out to take over the tag team division with Rembrandt. Playing the ex-convict gimmick. Looks relatively tough, although the hair would disagree with that. Not one of my favourites in the promotion, but fair enough to say around the mid-card level that's acceptable. I think that's fine. Move on now to Anthony Cameron, who has the particular approach to wrestling of that of a Japanese junior, which I think is quite intriguing. Relatively average look, I don't think there's anything particularly that stands out about him. Lightweight competitor, opener, got the underdog gimmick. Yeah, okay, we'll see how things go for him in the long term, but opener's pretty suited to where he should be. In-ring wise, average at best, but again you have to bear in mind that it is a regional size promotion, so you're not going to see any world beaters or many that have the potential to become world beaters, although there are a couple of pretty decent workers in this promotion. Moving on now to Austin Gunner, the future legend. Not one of them, although he has got the nickname of the future legend. 31 years of age. His technical and flying skills are pretty strong, which is good. Again, has the style of Japanese junior, much like Anthony Cameron. But he's a mid-carder, got the show stealer gimmick, a bit up his own backside, as it were. I do like the guy. I prefer him to the other gentlemen that we've come across so far on the roster. I don't think there's anything else in particular to mention about him. Although it says that he has worked a couple of tours for Honor League Grappling and the Japanese Wrestling Alliance, two companies that we'll be seeing in future episodes of this Londonverse tour, which I hope you're all enjoying. Move on now to the manager, Benjamin Croft. Yeah, he looks a little bit like Elton John on a diet, but that's fine. That's a look that he's rocking. He's the manager, or manager / psychiatrist and doctor of Byron Underwood, who'll be seeing next, in fact. Basically, the story behind Benjamin Croft is he is, storyline-wise, the doctor who helped Byron Underwood get over basically, he's got a lot of scar tissue damage on his face from an accident which I think happened with a ladder. Could be wrong, it will show it in his bio shortly. And through his psychological healing, as it were, and building Byron Underwood back up to being a bit of a beast in the company. He's now, he basically manages him. Again, this is all storyline wise, he's not actually done this, but it goes with Byron Underwood, and he tries to keep Byron Underwood from completely snapping. So I think it's quite an interesting manager to have. He is a heel as well as is Byron Underwood, so it's quite an interesting dynamic. I like it, and I think he's well suited to the promotion and the task that he has to do. And here we see Byron Underwood. This is the gentleman I was just mentioning. Now you can see on his right side of the face, you can see faint scars, and I think if we read the bio, it was a table, ladders and chairs match that saw him crash face first into the edge of a ladder. And there you go, so I was right. A little pat on the back for myself there. But he is a mid-carder in the promotion. He's a heel, he's got a psycho gimmick, and I think it's more a case of being almost like the Hulk, where he's fine, he's calm, and then something will just trigger him, and then he'll go into an absolute rage and start smashing the place up and hurting people more than necessary. In ring, he's pretty good, 31 years of age. I like the guy. In fact, I'd probably be pushing him to the main event scene. And potentially future champion in the company as well. That's how much I like Byron Underwood in this company. But then again, he'll have to sort out his risk taking. I think he probably has mellowed out a little bit after that accident, but you never know. Move on now to Carlton Cressley. Now he is the DUWS heavyweight champion. He's a very good grappler. He's 35 years of age, so he's not likely to improve any, but that's absolutely fine. Fortunately, with Australia not having the biggest scene, and this being the biggest company in Australia, it's not very likely that you'll see him get taken to other locations in the game world, seeing as I think the only area he's actually able to compete in is Australia. I like the way he has a good rivalry with Galaxy Universe, two of the main players in the company, as you would imagine. Has a bit of a kind of Bret the Hitman Hart look about him with the pink and black and long dark hair, although the goatee throws that illusion off somewhat. But the problem with him is that he doesn't have a great amount of charisma, but I wouldn't be personally too worried about that, because that's not what I'd be pushing him based on. So, but we'll move on now to Mr. Cooper Hayes, a technical brawler, so he can do a bit of both. Strong performance skills, he's got a good look about him. You may recognise him out there, any Cornellverse users or fans, as Roger Cage. This was an alt, or my version of Roger Cage that I did a long time ago, and I liked it and thought I could repurpose it for the Londonverse. Here we have Mr. Cooper Hayes. He's got a main event push. Arrogant heel, as you could probably have told by the render itself. In-ring wise, not particularly great, although like I said, his technical and rumble are pretty good. Fortunately, he has a decent amount of entertainment and charisma, which can keep him around the main event scene. Someone that you could potentially feud with Carlton Cressley, purely because Carlton doesn't have the microphone skills that Cooper does, and Carlton has the better technical ability than Cooper, so it makes for a good yin-yang matchup, and I think that would be quite fun. Could be something that we'll book on this show. I haven't decided yet, as you already probably know. We'll have a look here now at Corey Gallows, the choice of a generation. Bit of a scruffy looking bugger, which is a bit rich coming from me, but I very much like this worker. He's pretty solid all around the board, 33 years of age, main eventer, face, cult leader gimmick. Possibly my favourite worker in this promotion. I don't think there's anyone else that we're going to see that I prefer to him. Could I see him being the champion? Absolutely. Probably not right away, purely because he's a face, and Carlton Cressley is also a face who's the champion, so we'd either have to turn probably Corey Gallows, to be fair, unless we built up to a solid face versus face main event match down the road. Move on now to one of my least favourite workers, going from the best to my least favourite, is Declan Metcalf. Forms a tag team, so I think I might have been a bit harsh on him, to be fair. He's okay. Regular wrestler, upper mid-carder, which I think is a little bit too high. He's got the surfer dude gimmick, and he is one half of the tag team champions. Trust me to not particularly like someone and give them a title belt. What's wrong with me? Don't answer that. Yeah, he's part of the tag team Hang 10 with his friend Kelly Creek, who again we'll be seeing fairly shortly. Nothing really too exciting to say about him. He's a solid hand, if nothing more. Move on now to Dylan Owen. Very much a technical based wrestler, upper mid-carder, arrogant heel, but I think he's lacking somewhat in microphone and charisma. I mean, it's a C minus, which isn't outstanding, but 39 years of age as well, so you have to wonder how long he has left, being that high up the card. Although I would hope that he wouldn't be on time declines list, because I think he's got good stats elsewhere that could, mean that he remains useful for the foreseeable future, or at least for a couple of years. And then hopefully you'll be able to bring someone else up to his level and then kind of maybe phase him out and put him in a lesser role in the promotion, which might be a bit unfair, but that's what I think I would do with him, if I'm being honest. Move on now to Pretty Ethan Price. Mid-card worker. I do quite like the look. He's one half of the tag team with Riley Couture? Yeah, I said that right. Comprising the Physique Factory, a couple of gym buffs who obviously like to go to the gym together. I mean, that's what guys do, I guess, or these guys do anyway. In ring, nothing to write home about. Entertainment and camera's okay, but as far as actual technical ability and brawling, very average. So probably fit for the tag team division, but not much else. Gabriel Tatana, one of the very few Aborigine wrestlers working in Australia and in the world, would have to be said. 34 years of age, brawler, not great, if I'm being honest with you, but unique look, have to say, with the blonde hair, the facial hair and the kind of the dark complexion and the very piercing eyes. It's a little bit unnerving actually, but even in the bio it said he's not a spectacular performer, but I'd give him a chance, so I wouldn't, Raging Bull gimmick's a bit peculiar, I'm not too sure why I chose that, but he could probably be a fun face to get behind, although he is only an opener, and 34 years of age, you do have to wonder how far he can go in the promotion on a long-term basis. Again, that'll be up for the player to decide. Move on to Galaxy Universe. Self-obsessed man known to the Australian professional wrestling scene as Galaxy Universe is a former Mr. Universe contest winner, so he claims. He's not, but he claims to be. 32 years of age, very good charisma and microphone. In-ring stuff's okay, to be fair, he can back it up with that, and I think he makes a perfect foil for the straight-laced Carlton Presley. I think they're actually the starting title feud. I think DUWS is one of the companies that I've already given starting storylines to, so I don't think we need to worry about that. Having said that, if we haven't, it will be the storyline that I'll probably go with for the show that we'll be booking. Move on now to Isaac Collins. Daredevil high flyer, crazy hair, crazy facial expression, some interesting piercings. Lower mid-carder, okay, yeah. Yeah, I'd put him probably on a higher level, or slightly higher level than your Anthony Camerons. Do I see him going far? I don't know, because his in-ring stuff's pretty good. So I think this is one of the more complete promotions in terms of top to bottom. There's very few people that I strongly dislike, and there are quite a lot of people that I have ideas for of what I would do. Pretty much an interesting company to do a diary as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, Isaac Collins, I do like the guy. Move on to Jack Axford. Now some of you may recognise this render. It was one of the ones I originally did for this database. So this was Jack Axford before he was anyone else. Obviously, I spoke to Adam when he was doing TEW 2013. I showed him, or sent him all the work I'd done for the Londonverse and said, whichever of these characters you would like to use, give me a list of them and then I'll put them on the C-verse background, the light blue background that you would be familiar with. He came back with Jack Axford. Obviously I had no idea with who was going to be used as what, and I don't have a problem with it. Jack Axford obviously got used as Dusty DuComte, which is pretty good. Not the kind of character he's playing in the Londonverse, but there you go, little backstory on Jack Axford. Upper mid-carder, face, badass. I think he's one of the better guys in the company. He's strong on rumble as opposed to technical, so he's just kind of a bit of an arse kicker, go in there, get the job done. James Avatar, myself. Jaden Cole, quite like him. I think he's part of the Canberra Kids tag team with, I want to say Noah Smith. I think it is Noah Smith. Anyway, cruiserweight competitor, high flying, 30 years of age, pretty good in the ring. Lower mid-carder, got the clubber gimmick. I prefer this tag team to Hang Ten, who are the tag team champions, and the Physique Factory. So it'd be probably quite interesting to put these guys in a title match sooner rather than later, because I also like Noah Smith. However, I think Hang Ten are also a face tag team, so again you've got the dynamic of trying to set up a feud either between two faces, or in this case two face tandems, or turning one of the teams. Speaking of Hang Ten, here is Mr. Kelly Creek. I prefer him to his tag team partner without a shadow of a doubt, no offence Declan Metcalf. Low mid-carder, again got the surfer dude gimmick. I believe he's slightly younger than Declan Metcalf, I could always check, in fact I will. Yep, very slightly younger, so only just. I think he's got a little bit more upside to him if the team were to disband. But again, fit for purpose as a tag team worker, current tag team champion, so, you know, there's nothing to sneer at. Kobe Lloyd. Japanese junior also, so there's 3 of them in this company, so that's quite an interesting look. Upper mid-carder, heel, plays the role of manipulator, bit of master of puppets. Again, one of my favourite workers in this company, and there's been a few of them up to this point. Very good in technical and high-flying performance. Rumble's not particularly great, but he's got the other background to fall on, which I just mentioned. Could see him being in the main event scene and competing for the title almost immediately, if I'm being perfectly honest. Leslie Bolt, from Darwin, Australia. Yeah, enhancement talent, cruiserweight. Yeah, I don't think... He's kind of... in the bio, we can see it says in the second paragraph, Bolt has modelled his style after the daredevil high-flying of Isaac Collins. And he's marginally younger than the guy, although I don't think he has quite the look that he does. So it'd be quite interesting to maybe use that as a storyline going down the road. At the moment, enhancement talent is probably where I'd see him staying, taking a few losses, and then seeing where we want to go with him from there. Mason Clutch, the Thunder from Down Under. Big dude, heavyweight, so I don't think there's in fact another heavyweight in the company. I think this is as big as it gets here. 37 years of age. His in-ring skills aren't great, but his brawling and hardcore are pretty good. So I could see him having a relatively good feud with the like of Jack Haxford, who's also the face side of being a badass. Could be something that I actually put on this show. Although I don't think the match will grade particularly well. It'll be, you know, you don't want to burn the crowd out with all great matches. I mean, I think everyone needs a little bit of filler in a show, just so people can take a breather or a piss break. Move on to Noah Smith, the other half of the Canberra Kids. I do prefer Jaden Cole, but Noah Smith isn't bad. Lightweight, also cruiserweight, got the clubber gimmick. For high flying is good, but nothing else stands out about him. Fitting for the tag team division. I've said that with a lot of the tag team workers in this company actually, but then again that was what I designed them, well that's what I had in mind when I designed them, I should say. Now the bizarre character in this company, not too sure what I was thinking at the time, but I had some props and I thought let's use him, and this is where he ended up, and that's Ramesses Kamoun. Now the Aussie's Pharaoh, or the Aussie Pharaoh I should say, Ramesses Kamoun. Egyptian wrestler by birth, currently plying his trade in Australia. Do you know what? I don't hate the guy. He's not the best in the ring, but I think it's a unique, very unique character for this company, seeing as there's a lot of kind of more clean-cut gimmicks than this. He's got the gimmick of royalty, obviously fitting with the Pharaoh itself. So his claims to being the Pharaoh of Australian wrestling is pretty accurate, because I can't think of any other Egyptian pharaohs that were in the London verse anyway. Mid-card, yeah, I wouldn't have him any higher, at least not at this point. Raymond Sims, I think he's just the colour commentator, and I'm right. He was a successful heel on the Australian scene in his time, so I see him rooting for the bad guys, which I think is something that's almost sorely lacking in modern day wrestling. And I'm not talking about, because I found the way that Jerry Lawler was okay at doing it, but then it got a bit tired. It was terrible when Michael Cole did it. JBL was pretty good. I didn't mind Taz doing it on commentary, but I'm thinking more like Bobby the Brain Heenan. That's what I liked, or Jesse the Body Ventura. Gorilla. I can actually do a better impression than that, but I felt that come out of me and I couldn't. It had already gone too far for me to reel that one back in, so I won't do that again. Or if I do try and do it again, I'll try and do the impression of old Jesse Ventura properly. But anyway, let's go back to this. Referee Ian Farrell, referee James Turn, nothing to note there. Rembrandt, now he's an angry looking MFer, let's be honest. Tag team partner of Ajax. I think the tag team's called Death Row, and they are. Works the psychic or wild man gimmick. Gets over pretty well with the crowd. Heel, brawler. I could see them being a fun face team, actually. They'd be probably pretty good. Well, to be honest, if I had them go up for the tag team titles now against Hang 10, because Hang 10 are probably my least favourite tag team in the company, apart from, no, Physique Factory would have to be up there, I would probably actually give them the titles, and I might do that on the show. Richard Palastin is the announcer. I think he's been here since the company started. Yeah, that's fine. Ricky Rose. Now, I believe he was actually originally the booker before, obviously, I took over charge of the company entirely. I think, in fact, it was his tag team partner Thad Givens who started the company, and it was. And yeah, he was basically brought in to do a job, and he's been doing it. I don't know what I'd have him do now. I guess I could have him stay as a manager, although I don't really have in mind who I would have him manage. Possibly, if his acting and what have you were good enough, I could put him in there. It's not, to be honest. I mean, Microphone 59, Charisma 62, Acting 63. Could put him in there with the Death Row tag team. It's a possibility long term. Ravishing Riley Couture. He is an Australian weightlifter turned pro wrestler, light heavyweight. This is the other gentleman from the Physique Factory. Mid-card heel, narcissist gimmick. That's pretty much all I have to say on him. Entertainment and camera is pretty good, but like I said, in ring, very, very average at best. Sebastian White. Also a Japanese junior, so that makes 4 in the promotion. So lots of kicky action and a bit of flippy floppy thrown in for good measure. 27 years of age, opener, troublemaker gimmick. Nah. Oh, he's okay. Again, probably put him on a level with Anthony Cameron. Be interesting to see if after maybe 5 years if those guys will be main eventing the company. Because it is hard to tell, because obviously I haven't seen what other people have done long term in their games, so I've only done a couple of tests myself long term. Thad Givens, the owner of the company, here he is. Does also the work of a road agent, so that's nice. And Zachary Finn. Zachary Dackery Finn, in fact. So he's got the dude gimmick, easygoing, interesting headband and earring combination. He is a main event face, pretty good in the ring, so, you know, that's okay. Again, I like the guy in this company. Certainly better than some of the others, like Sebastian White and Anthony Cameron. But anyway, that covers the roster, actually. That is the last gentleman here. So I think you'll agree, a pretty interesting, diverse roster. I think one of my favourite rosters overall, from top to bottom, as I said earlier. But let's have a look now at the storylines, and I was correct, we do have a couple of storylines. And there you go. In fact, Accident Clutch is a storyline. I didn't actually realise that was a storyline. But, well, at some point I realised it was a storyline, but it's been that long since I've looked at it, I forgot. But I did remember Cressley versus Universe, and in fact I've thrown Gallows in there. That's how much I liked Corey Gallows. Yeah. So it says Corey Gallows may even seem like the odd man out, but he has made it clear that he has his eyes on the belt, and it would be unwise to ignore the former heavyweight champion. What is interesting is I think because Cressley and Universe will be so directed at each other in terms of competition, I think Gallows could sneak in the back door and take the title. And we have Underwood versus Collins. So Byron Underwood, I'll read the story here. Byron Underwood turned his back on the Daredevil era of style after an injury nearly ended his career. He has accused the fans for encouraging behaviour and targeted the high-flying Isaac Collins for influencing younger workers like Leslie Bolt to take up the reckless style. Pretty interesting. So we do have 3 stories. We don't actually need to run any stories, but we have done. Have a look at the titles. Some very nice title belts you'll see. And we have here the DUWS Australian Tag Team title. Again, tag team belts and all the belts in general, courtesy of Mr. MJ Stark. Thank you very much, sir. We've actually got a bit of tag team title history on here. Very nice. And the better title, in my opinion, the DUWS Heavyweight Champion, which is held by Carlton Cressley. So that's pretty good. Again, title histories will be amended. It's because of the data change from 2011 to 2015. But I'm sure if you're still watching at this point, you probably already know that. The teams. The 4 tag teams, I think I covered all of them. Canberra Kids, Death Row, Hang 10, and the Physique Factory. I don't think there are stables. There aren't. Let's have a look at the creative meeting. So franchise players, we've got Galaxy Universe, Zachary Finn, Corey Gallows, Carlton Cressley, Cooper Hayes. Very much agree with all of those. Next big things, none. Hot prospects. Ooh, quite a few. Anthony Cameron, Leslie Bolt, Sebastian White, 3 of the most unassuming people on the roster. Ramses Kamun and Ethan Price. Talk the talk, we've got Galaxy Universe, Cooper Hayes, Benjamin Croft and Raymond Sims. Showstoppers, Galaxy Universe, Carlton Cressley, Corey Gallows and Dylan Owen. Ring Generals, Carlton Cressley, Galaxy Universe, Corey Gallows and Dylan Owen. Who's hot? No one. Who's not? Wiley Couture, Kobe Lloyd, Noah Smith, Jaden Cole and Isaac Collins. And Time Decline? No one. Fantastic, I was hoping for that. Again, we'll click on the hidden gems, but I don't expect there to be anyone who's going to be especially exciting. So we have Lucian Wilder, Amaru, Alistair Ghost, Tyrion Law and Darius Mendoza. Okay, so we're going to get through to booking the show now. Let's see how we do this. Fingers crossed. As we see Dave Dolman, the big issue. Also book venue, very nice. Locker room incidents, 59% backstage rating. Incident involving Declan Metcalfe and Jack Axford. Declan Metcalfe almost got into a fight with Jack Axford after he caused some damage to his rental car and refused to pay for it. As his employer, you now have to choose how to deal with Declan Metcalfe. Easy. Fine. You damaged his car, you're not getting the money. Yeah, okay, won't happen again. Fair enough. So I've taken 25% of his purse, because he has a purse, because he is a vagine. And we'll go to book the show. Right. First of all, I think I'll actually have a triple threat main event, which I don't think I've done yet. So this is something to be relatively worried about. It's a 2-hour show, as is pretty much everything we've booked so far, I think. Right. So we want Carlton Cressley. Put the title on the line as well. Galaxy Universe. And Corey Gallows. 3 men that will be competing for the title. I'll let this go quite a while. Might actually let it go 25, you know. Definitely going to have the title on the line. I think I'll actually have Corey Gallows take the title. I haven't actually had a main title change hands, I don't think, in this series that we've done so far. Corey Gallows, I'll have Carlton Cressley take the loss. Again, this is a feud that I could see rumbling on for a while, so there'll be a few rematches, I'm sure, at some point. And it'll be an open match. Beyond that, that's fine. Galaxy Universe is a bit unhappy at the booking of this match. Okay, we'll have you look strong. You puss. Right, where is it? Keep strong. Carlton Cressley, no, we want Galaxy Universe kept strong. Okay, there we go. Now he's happy. We'll put the tag team titles on the line. In fact, I'll have both titles change hands on this show. That'll be quite interesting. Square booked. So it's Hang 10. Serves him right for crashing up Jack Axford's car. And we'll have them lose to Death Row. So we'll have this go, say 14 minutes. Put the titles on the line, obviously. Victor, I'll let Rembrandt win because I like him better. Don't mind who loses on that side. Open match though. Yeah, we'll go for a pinfall finish as well. Nope. Loud noises. Apologies. Save. Okay, so we've got both title changes. We want Jack Axford and Mason Clutch in a fight. So Mr. Axford. Mr. Clutch. I have Jack Axford win. We've got 2 heels winning the titles on the show, so we need a couple of face victories on here. 12 minutes is probably a bit too much for them, but we'll see how it goes. Mason Clutch will be blowing out his arsehole by the end of this match. Jack Axford. Loser will be Mason Clutch. Will be open match though. Okay. Let's move that further down the card. What else do I want? Byron Underwood will have a match on here. Just thinking, Cooper Hayes, I want to have a prominent position on the show. Now he needs to go up against... Actually, there you go, that writes itself, Zachary Finn. I'll let the computer decide who wins this one. So, auto name, and we'll have it go about 14. Yep, that'll do. That'll be the semi-main. Have a bit of tag team match on there. I think we'll probably go for the Canberra Kids. Actually, we'll just put these 2 tag teams against each other. Stands to reason. I'll have the Canberra Kids win in an 8-minute match. So, Jaden Cole, because I prefer him. Loser. Ethan Price, I don't really have a preference to be fair. Open match. Okay, so that'll have to go on for the tag team title match. So we need to do 7 more minutes. Again, we do need to have a couple of angles on here. I was about to say we didn't, but we do. Anyway, we've still got time. So we'll do a singles match. Yeah, Isaac Collins against Byron Underwood. As they are feuding, seems to stand to reason. And have this go, say about 10. I'll have Byron get the original win. I'll probably build this up to have a ladder match at some point, which is obviously going to be interesting with Byron Underwood's history with it. Not to put him in danger, but I think it'd make for an interesting storyline. Open match. I think that's all we'll put there. And I might have a bit of a scramble match with 4 people. I'll just put some of the people that haven't been used yet. So Dylan Owen probably get on there, being an upper mid carder. Austin Gunner will probably put on there. Lots of heels left. So we've probably got, yeah, very few people who aren't heels. Anthony Cameron. Yeah, this one's not going to be good, but what can you do? Gabriel Tatana. This will be pretty short. 8 minutes, I think. We will have Dylan Owen win. The rest I couldn't care less about. Again, I think I'd probably script a lot of these, but yeah, I'm just showing you the show. Showing you the show. There you go. I'm rhyming now. Lost my bloody mind. Okay, so what have we got? 106 minutes worth of show. We'll put a few angles in here. So we'll have Galaxy Universe talk about Shiznit. We'll have him do a promo about the singles or the triple threat main event. Okay. We'll have it as if they're ignoring Corey Gallows entirely. So, Galaxy. We'll be talking about, yep, Carlton Presley. Auto name. We'll let him waffle on for about 7 minutes. Why 7 minutes? I don't know. He prefers to work without a script. We'll go on then. Big bollocks. See what you can do. Okay. Put that there. Technically that's enough to go ahead with the show, but I'll put something else on. I think I'll just have I'll test the waters with Kobe Lloyd, because he's not on the show, and I want to see if he can do a promo. Just out of curiosity, to be honest. And we'll have that go 4 minutes. Probably doesn't want to work with the script. Okay, he doesn't want to work with the script, so we'll take that off. And we'll put that, maybe have him open the show. And that should be enough for us to actually run it. Like I said, very little thought has gone into this, as you can probably tell. But I'm hoping the show will be pretty decent. I meant to put slow build in this, actually. I'll quickly do that before I forget. So slow build. Cool. And we'll run the show. Once started, you cannot go back. That's fine. So here we are. DUWS Tidal Wave 2015 being held in front of 2,000 people at Blue Duck Lounge, so that's pretty good. Kobe Lloyd starts with a backstage promo, well, I think it would probably be in the ring. He improvised well throughout the segment, so fantastic. C rating, I'm very happy with that. The match actually did better than I thought it would, so in about that had a good crowd and good action. Dylan Owen defeated Austin Gunner, Anthony Cameron and Gabriel Tatana in 8 minutes 27 when Dylan Owen defeated Gabriel Tatana by submission with a torture rack. Tag team match did about what I expected. In about that had a good crowd and good action. Canberra Kids defeated Physique Factory in 7 minutes 51 when Jaden Cole defeated Ethan Price by pinfall with a hangover cure. Riley Couture seemed off his game tonight. Not interested. Getting better. In about that had a good crowd and good action. Byron Underwood defeated Isaac Collins in 9 minutes 33 by pinfall with a facial reconstruction. Bit of a dark finisher name for someone who's had probably his fair share of facial surgery over the years. Benjamin Croft did some good work at ringside. The DUWS Underwood vs Collins storyline has advanced with this segment. Wow, that did better than I thought as well. In about that had a good crowd and good action. Death Row defeated Hang 10 in 14 minutes 12 when Rembrandt defeated Declan Metcalf by pinfall with a lethal injection. Death Row win the DUWS Australian Tag Team titles. The match lifted the crowd. I think every match has got progressively better. Galaxy Universe cuts a promo hyping up his upcoming match with Carlton Cressley. Okay, C. Thought it might get a little bit higher actually. This did better than I thought. I was hoping this would bring the crowd down a bit more than it has, but that should be okay. And about that had a good crowd and good action. Jack Axford defeated Mason Clutch in 11 minutes 12 by pinfall with a decapitator. Progressing that storyline also. And in about that had a good crowd and good action. Zachary Finn defeated Cooper Hayes in 30 minutes 51 by pinfall with a cocktail mixer. So they let Zachary Finn go over Cooper Hayes there with a C- rating. I'm hoping the main event will pull something higher. I'm hoping even possibly C+, B- would be great. Probably going to tank now. Okay, and Cooper Hayes and Zachary Finn had great chemistry. Good to know. C+, yeah, I said that would be in the area that I'd accept. So in about that had great heat and good action. Corey Gallows defeated Carlton Cressley in Galaxy Universe in 24 minutes and 50 seconds when Corey Gallows defeated Carlton Cressley by pinfall with a death sentence. Corey Gallows wins the DUWS heavyweight title. Unfortunately, Carlton Cressley seemed off his game tonight, otherwise I think that probably would have fallen into the B- category, but overall that's pretty good. I think that would probably have helped our company as a whole even. So the show increased our popularity in one region. There we go, C overall. Pretty happy with that. I won't do a speech. Yeah, I don't want to give a speech. So yeah, that is the Down Under Wrestling Society, our first trip to Australia, our first of 2 trips to Australia. Got to see the roster, look at who the title holders are, the starting storylines. We've got to book a show, Tidal Wave. I think it went relatively well. We did increase our popularity, which is quite good, seeing as not much thought actually went into the show itself. Again, were it for a diary, I'd be thinking into more detail and giving you much more information about what exactly I saw happening in each angle on the match. But there you go, it was enough to give you a flavour and a sense of what to expect from this company. Now, for episode 10, haven't decided what exactly I'll be covering. So if you want to leave any comments down below, please feel free to do so and say what company you'd like to see next. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have liked it, please hit that like button and subscribe. That would be fantastic. Hopefully I'll be filming in the next couple of days to get another episode out for you. But until then, see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.